All right, welcome back. We have another 3-in-1 video for you now. This is going to be combining the strategy, the tricks and the traps, and the master skills of the inference questions. So, first of all, just going a little bit over the strategy. As I mentioned in the summary video, this one is very similar to the strategy of the implied or inferred meaning questions in the reading section. So really, you're going to be applying the same kind of strategy here. The most important thing is that you understand and comprehend the meaning of imply and infer, which I have described quite thoroughly on this page here. But then getting to the actual strategy, first of all, you have to identify the keywords in the question stem because they're going to be asking you about a specific part of the information from the whole audio file. So you'll have to make sure that the information that you find in your notes and your answer choice is in reference to that specific piece of information, because they might give an answer choice which is implied meaning from the audio file, but not in reference to the thing that they're asking about in the question stem. So then you eliminate any answer choice which are things that are specifically stated, even if they are true. If it's true information, if it was specifically stated, then it's not an inference or an implication. And then even if the information is true, it can't be the answer because it's not implied. So the other thing is a lot of times they will have answer choices that have some details that were specifically mentioned, but it also changes the answer. Those are obviously wrong. Eliminate any answer choices which are obviously wrong because they, like I said there, where it's a specific detail but it's not true. Well, then it's obviously not the answer. And sometimes they like to put answer choices that are just a little bit silly, a little ridiculous, like where you read it and it's just, I don't know, maybe the person who wrote the answer was just having some fun. But then make sure that the answer choice is in reference to the question stem, as I was mentioning up here, and then choose the only answer left. There should only be one answer left after you follow this strategy. But it's possible that there might be two answer choices that you're unsure of. So let's go over to the tricks and the traps. Now, one of the things they do, obviously, the most common trick for this question type is to have answer choices which are factually true information, but it was directly stated. So therefore, even though it's true information, it's not an inference, so it can't be the answer. Eliminate any of those. There should only be about one of those answer choices. Answer choices which may be an inference about other information in the audio file, but it's not being asked about. That's what I was mentioning before about making sure that the answer is in reference to the keywords in the question stem. So it could be a good answer which is an implied meaning, but it's not in reference to that particular question. So it has to match with the question and the question stem. The other things really is just, like I said, putting details that were mentioned, but it's true, false information, and obviously those are wrong. So eliminate those, be aware of those tricks. The traps are the same as I've mentioned in other videos, not paying attention while the audio is playing, thinking that all the answers will be in your notes. Now, you might be able to use your notes to find the answer or to help you remember the answer, but since it's not specifically stated, the actual answer is not going to be in your notes, but related information that when you read it in your notes, it might trigger the memory, and then you compare it to the answer choices, and then there should only be one that logically pops out, and that should be the answer. The other trap there is overthinking it, like I've mentioned in other videos. Now, with this one, overthinking it might be that it just doesn't feel right because you're choosing an answer which wasn't stated. Really, just trust your instincts, because really these are things that you do all the time. Quite often, somebody will say something to you and you know that what they mean is something that they're not saying. That's all that this question type is asking you to do, to be able to recognize those types of things. Just like with all of the different question types in the exam, they're mimicking real life situations. So everything that you're doing with this one are things that you've done in real life. So as far as the master skills, really it's just about following the strategy, being aware of the tricks and the traps, eliminate the obviously wrong answers. If you use the strategy and you're aware of the tricks and traps, then just by eliminating all the answers, there should only be one answer left. Just simply make sure that the answer is in reference to the detail or the topic in the question stem, and that's it. So, like I said, if you follow the strategy and be aware of the tricks and traps, there should only be one answer left. But if you're not really sure, that's okay. Sometimes people get nervous in test type situations, and, you might get a little bit nervous and you're not thinking straight. Well, hopefully, if you go through the TOEFL Excellence course, you won't have that problem. But it's a natural thing. It happens. So really, if you're not sure, just pick the most logical one. Pick the one that feels the best to you, because really it's about trusting your instincts. Relax, just take some deep breaths. Remember that you're a champion and you got it. And that's all we have to talk about as far as the strategy, the tricks and the traps, and the master skills of the inference question in the listening section. And we'll see you in the next lesson.